Just a reminder, we're going to show you fourth down here after the injured player is attended to, and then we're going to ask our United States audience to flip over to your CBS station to see the conclusion of overtime between Las Vegas and Seattle. NFL Red Zone international viewers, keep it right here. You will see the conclusion of Raiders and Seahawks. And if everyone wants to stay, you'll see the touchdown montage coming up. We had some wild touchdowns today, including a couple of quote-unquote other touchdowns, which we'll explain more in a second. Okay, looks like they're going to take they just went to commercial break with the injured Seahawk down on the field and in some pain. With a commercial timeout, I'm being told that we are going to send the U.S. audience over to CBS. So stay here if you want to see the touchdown montage. Flip over to CBS to see the conclusion of overtime in Seattle. International audience, keep it right here. To see the conclusion of overtime on a fourth down for Las Vegas coming up in just a bit. We welcome you back inside of the NFL Red Zone studios, everyone. Been a heck of a day so far, but we're going to take a look back at all the touchdowns coming up in just a bit. And it's time for some of those special plays right now. Let's take a look back at the top 5 Prime plays of the day presented by Prime Video.
The timeouts. 19 seconds until halftime. First and goal. Garoppolo, right pressure, throws, deflected. Tyrann Mathieu with the deflection. Jerron Jennings with the touchdown. A tip drill in the Bay Area. And 6 for San Francisco. Mariota, the pass, it's deflected in the air. It is picked up by Washington. It's Kendall Fuller. Flicker. Now throwing, and wide open is Matt Collins. Collins down the sideline for the touchdown.
Boy, they barely get this play off, but he is wide open, and that is well executed for Matt Collins on the long touchdown. 4th and 10. Brissett throws.
What a catch!
The Browns have tied it in the final minute of regulation.
There's been so many beautiful one-handers, but that's got to be up there, right? Especially from a tight end. Look at the reach. David and Njoku, their best pass-catching tight end. What a play.
Incredible.
Ball is spotted at the 10-yard line. 20 seconds to go.
With the throw, watch the extension by Marvin Jones. Let's see if his right leg comes down inbounds right there. That's shin. That's a catch.
The 32-year-old Marvin Jones. What a job by Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars to get down the field.
And you saw Jackson DeVille, the mascot of the Jags earlier. If he had any clothes on at the time, they would have probably been shredded off of him in joy at the victory that they had in Duval County there today. All right, by the way, we realized we left you on 4th down. Let's just show you what happened moments ago. 4th down, the Raiders elected to have their big leg kicker, Daniel Carlson, from 56. This was not to win the game, mind you, but it would have put the Raiders up by 3 with a chance to clinch the game. Instead, it goes wide right, a 56-yard miss, meaning Seattle takes over at that spot there, and now it is sudden death overtime. If Seattle can score, or the next team to score, will win that game in OT. That game is on right now on your local CBS stations in the United States. Flip on over if you want to see the conclusion of overtime in Seattle. Big winners today so far. How about the Miami Dolphins getting a victory to go to 8-3. The Dolphins have won 5 in a row. They jumped back into the 2-seed spot in the AFC playoff picture. The Bills dropped back down to the wild card position there, as by virtue of Miami's head-to-head win over the Bills earlier on in the season. The Jets started the day in playoff position. They get a victory. The Bengals started the day in playoff position. They got a victory Over in the NFC, no changes in the NFC, but we still have division-leading, in fact, conference-leading Philadelphia to play on Sunday Night Football tonight, and then a lot of those teams were also involved on Thanksgiving games. That's why there wasn't much of a change here today. San Francisco firms up their lead in the NFC West with a victory to get to 7-4, and then even if Seattle comes back to win that game against the Raiders or win it in overtime, both those teams would have identical records. San Francisco is undefeated in the division with one head-to-head win over the Seahawks, so the Niners would stay in first place. Hope everyone got that. You were writing notes? Sure you were. NFL Game Day highlights on NFL Network will be your next stop as soon as we're done with the touchdown montage here on NFL Red Zone. NFL Game Day Final will wrap things up after Sunday Night Football. Packers at Eagles later this evening. I want to let you know that Week 13 begins on Prime Video. It's a division matchup. One of the best teams in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills, hot off their victory on this last Thursday, Thanksgiving Thursday, will play back-to-back Thursdays at New England against Mac Jones and the New England Patriots. A couple of teams thinking playoffs in the postseason and thinking division championship at that matter. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock on Prime Video, Thursday Night Football, week number 13. Sunday of week 12 gave us a chunk of touchdowns, 47 total touchdowns. Other touchdowns, let's explain that real quick. When the offense fumbles a football and it goes into the end zone and is recovered by a different player on the offense, that is considered an other offensive touchdowns. We had 2 of those today, and then the third one on there was a defensive fumble recovery for a touchdown, a little bit more standard nature of that. You'll see those in the touchdown montages. We're up to 674 total touchdowns on NFL Red Zone here today. Well, that's going to do it for us, for all the hardworking men and women here in the studio and in the control room. For our producers, Alan Flowers, Brian Nettles, McEnroe Francis. Our director, Dustin Stern, the new daddy, still pressing the buttons, still calling the shots there as our director. I'm Scott Hansen saying thank you so much for watching. We leave you as we always do with one more look at every touchdown from every game presented by Prime Video. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We'll see you next week. Good night.